Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. How you doing this morning? Good afternoon. Turn it off. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Yo, man, global boxing is fired up. Heading into 2026. So much going on. Too much to cover. But we got to touch on a few things. Everybody out here buzzing like never before, man. It's like that 2019 energy meets the 2024 explosion. From superstars coming back to rising prospects, upcoming spectacles, to historical legacy questions. The sport is alive across every continent. And that's how boxing should be, man. Gentleman's sport. Two guys getting in the ring. Settling their differences and getting a little bit of that Wu-Tang cream, cha-ching, ching, dollar bill, y'all. Now, out here in the USA, Los Estados Unidos, you got Clarissa Shields, you got Haney, Garcia, you got Teofimo, you got Crawford. All these fighters continue to drive interest. Whether you like them or not, they drive the interest. They get you talking. Out here in the United States, the boxing landscape is stacked. Teofimo against Shakir is going to be happening in January. A lot of people, is it January? Yeah, I believe it's end of January. But a lot of people have opinions on that fight. And surprisingly, man, it's pretty evenly split. Those who favor Shakir Stevenson feel that he's going to walk through Teofimo Lopez, make him miss, make him pay, make him look stupid, frustrate him. Just drive him crazy and cause an emotional breakdown mid-fight. But those going for Teofimo saying Shakir's never faced anyone as fast, powerful, explosive like Teofimo with that unorthodox boxing style. And they feel Teofimo is going to be able to, with his athleticism, with the angles he creates, he's going to be able to leap in and land something big, something that Shakir is not going to be able to defend against because the punch is going to come from a funny angle. But one thing I will say is this is a fight many people feel, and I also feel, will define a new generation of lightweight supremacy. I don't know if Teofimo, if he wins, if he's going to go up to welterweight. You know, I don't know what's going to happen because they're at junior welterweight. Yeah, they're taking place at junior welterweight. But it's going to determine which one is going to continue moving up the ladder and which one is going to have to reset. Now, these two stylish, charismatic fighters, no doubt they bring drama, elite skill, and their potential matchups are trending across sites and social feeds where people are out here trying to make sense of this and pick a winner. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's a hard one to call. If you ask me, I'm kind of leaning towards Shakir. But you just never know because this isn't like an 80-20 fight. Now, this is pretty damn 50-50. Shakir's been moving up weight divisions. He was 126, 130, 135, now 140. I mean, at some point, you know, size matters. These guys just move up one weight division too many, and, you know, they pay the price. Will this be the case with Shakir against Teal? I don't know. But one thing for sure, Teal's been talking a lot about going to 147. So some people say he's already factoring in an excuse to lose to Shakir. Others are saying he's going to clip Shakir, the weight won't matter, then he's going to go to 147, and they expect him to dominate. I don't know who wins, but I got the slight edge to Shakir Stevenson. Now, with American boxing, that shit is on fire. And I'm not going to kill this whole video talking about Clarissa Shields or anything. But what I will tell you is Amanda Serrano just defended her world titles, dominant performance against Reina Tejas, and just let everyone know she's still a lethal force when it comes to females boxing. And she deserves to be a front runner in the women's boxing conversation. And she should definitely be someone who is championed as the greatest woman of all time, seeing that she's been able to get titles in 7 different weight divisions. She's been fighting across 2 different eras. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty damn big deal. She has 48 wins, I think 31 knockouts, and she plans on trying to go for 50 wins. But at the end of the day, whatever she decides to do, people are going to root her on, especially there in Puerto Rico. Jake Paul changed Amanda Serrano's life, and she has capitalized on it. And she doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Maybe when she gets to that 50 wins, then she'll call it quits. I thought this was a retirement fight, but I guess I was wrong. Now, with Clarissa Shields, all I'll say is her and Franchon Cruz are going to be fighting. I got some videos coming on that after this. I'm not going to kill this video with that. But let's just say this is an opportunity for Claressa to show the world why she feels that she should be seen as the greatest woman of all time. And it gives Franchon Cruz an opportunity to come and get Claressa Shields' scalp. Because Claressa Shields, unless you've been sleeping underneath a rock, she got a lot of distractions, a lot of craziness going on. And if she's not focused, I believe 100% Franchon Cruz is going to beat her. But we got to wait and see. But the bottom line is, can't sleep on boxing events, can't sleep on women's boxing, and you definitely can't sleep on any that are built as big spectacle moments. You got plans for times, like you had the plans for the Times Square mega event with Haney, Ramirez, Garcia, Romero. You know, those were high-profile cards that blurred boxing and pop culture energy, but they still have some really big fights coming in 2026, where I don't think they'll go that route anymore. I think they learned their lesson. But the bottom line is, out here in the United States, big fights are going on. Bruce Carrington, there's a bunch of people fighting, man. Just buckle in and get ready for the ride. Now, when it comes to Great Britain and the UK, they seem to have the heavyweight division on lock, don't they? Always some shit going on with them goddamn UK fighters over there across the pond. The heavyweight division keeps fans guessing. I don't know. Is Wilder back? Is he going to beat Usyk? AJ just went through something, man. I mean, just unimaginable what he just went through, losing his two friends. And yet there's still talks about him and Tyson Fury fighting this year. Tyson Fury has already announced a comeback, said he's coming back to fight. Heard it could be Fabio Wardley. Then the fight with Anthony Joshua is something that's supposed to happen. Then I heard Anthony Joshua could retire. There's just a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces. But it's kind of cool when they tease major fights, especially with these showdowns that I just talked about, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And to be honest with you, I don't know who wins. If AJ fights Fury or Fury fights Wardley, or Wardley fights AJ, I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, you better not count Wardley out just because he's not the big name. Wardley will whip your ass. He will knock you out. Wardley gets busy. Now, when it comes to AJ, look, again, emotional, uncertain, real. If I was to draw a picture of him, it'd be very sad. Very melancholy, man. That tragic car accident impacted a lot of people, and it really destroyed Anthony Joshua's team and support team. But that's the story around the world. People are just kind of watching it closely. It's not even just about boxing. Like, Anthony Joshua's situation captures the human interest. And that's what people are looking at right now. But meanwhile, you know, fans are going to be fans, and the fans and analysts in the UK are also fueling debate about bouts. Nobody's talking quietly about, like, Hamza Shiraz and Canelo, something Turki Al-Sheikh has expressed interest in. Will that fight happen? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you can't sleep on Hamza Shiraz. Dude can crack, long, rangy, but he will fight the wrong fight and get caught up in the mash-up, crash-up. If he gets in there with that, doing that shit with Canelo, you could hear the Mexican horn sound off. Somebody will come rolling up in the goddamn crib at the goddamn barbecue with a horse dancing in the goddamn living room. Because one thing we know is Canelo Alvarez will put that Guadalajara, Jalisco bing-bings on your ass. So anyway, let's wait and see if Turki Al-Sheikh can make that fight happen. It's not an easy fight for Canelo, but you just never know what he's going to decide to do, especially after coming off a loss to Terrence Crawford. Not sure what direction Canelo's going to go. Now, on the cruiserweight front, a big German card is set. I believe they're going to have, not a Coley. Is it David Adelaide? But it's all heavyweights. I thought they were going to have a cruiserweight on there too, but no, they're not. It's going to be an all heavyweight showdown, man. Ajit Kabayel defends his WBC interim heavyweight title in Germany. Let me tell you something. They're trying to revive the German heavyweight passion, the German heavyweight boxing audience, just German boxing interest, period. You know, the Klitschko's dominated that era. From Ukraine to Germany, they were loved. They whipped everybody's ass. But it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. I think Caballero has a good chance to beat any and every heavyweight out there. Caballero gets busy. But I think it's David Adelaide who was just added to that card. But yeah, but nonetheless, really good fights going on out there in Germany. Adelaide, I'm glad to see he's back, but Caballero is just a problem. Now, going on over to Japan. The Japanese fighters that dominate the lower weight divisions. You go down to, I think it's like 112, 118. I don't remember which weight division it is. Almost everybody in the top 10 is from Japan. Them Japanese fighters will whip your ass. I'm telling you, I spent time in Okinawa, 6.5 years, and I sparred with them dudes. And when I was out there in Korea, I sparred with Koreans, Filipinos, Japanese fighters, Chinese fighters. Let me tell you, man, them dudes don't spar light. That shit is like life or death. You better come in there ready to bring it, man. They will whip your ass, man. But in Asia, the one fighter everybody, has the highest impact when it comes to champions is Naoya Inoue, man. Everybody knows who he is. Out here, man, just one impressive as another impressive, undisputed defense. You know what I'm saying? He just continues to stack legendary performances with precision, brutal efficiency. He's just a guy who is transcending the sport and will continue to transcend the sport. If only he could speak English. You look at Miguel Cotto, couldn't speak English, finally learned how to speak English, made a big difference. Canelo Alvarez couldn't speak English, learned how to speak English, made a big difference, helped him connect with fans. There's one fighter who I wish would have learned to speak English, that was Ricardo Mayorga from Nicaragua. If that crazy-ass Mayorga could have spoke English, he'd be a damn superstar. And he still was a superstar. But for Naoya Inoue, if he could learn more English and be comfortable speaking English, it would really help his profile. Look at Alexander Usyk. He's speaking more English now, and that helps fans connect with him. But fans have long clamored for big fights for Inoue to face Nakatani, which it looks like is going to happen this year. So I just think in 2026, Japan's boxing stars could take on warrior-style matchups that would deliver worldwide attention. And one person who delivered worldwide attention with wins and losses, and then with a return, is the Aussie, oi, Tim Tszyu. And let me tell you something, Australia and Oceania more broadly is increasingly central to boxing global schedule. Jai Apataya, the Australian Samoan, a big name at cruiserweight and somebody who I don't see anyone beating. He has fans around the world shouting for unification bouts against Ramirez and other globally recognized champs. Let me tell you something. Apataya against Ramirez could be one of the sport's major cruiserweight fights of the year, but unfortunately, Ramirez didn't want shit to do with Apataya. It looks like Benavidez is going to get the fight, and Apataya is supposed to be going another direction. But the winner of that fight should be fighting Apataya. And I'm telling you, it's hard for me to go against Apataya, but against Ramirez. But when it comes to Benavidez, that's a tough one. David Benavidez, Apataya, who wins? I don't know who wins. I think Apataya, but David Benavidez is a problem. The guy is no kidding a problem, man. Hard one to call. But I'll say this, Australia's growing presence also ties into deeper boxing culture. Fighters from this region are mixing competitive skill with marketability, making them must-watch figures on the world stage. That's why I keep telling y'all, you got Tim Tszyu. But forget Tim Tszyu, his brother Nikita Tszyu. His brother Nikita Tszyu is a problem. Y'all need to look into Nikita Tszyu and then watch his highlights and come back and talk to me. Now, as far as more global news and fan lists, look, all over boxing forums and communities, fans are buzzing about fights that need to happen across all continents. The matchups, like I just mentioned, Inoue, Nakatani, Haney, Garcia rematches, Bivol, Benavidez, Apataya, Zurdo, Apataya, Benavidez, and all other kind of title unifications. They want to see it. You got prospects like Adam Azim climbing fast, landing, and fan wish discussions thanks to highlight knockout runs. And Reddit threads suggest heavyweights like Joseph Parker could climb back into title contention, fueling heavyweight conversation beyond the usual suspects, as well as Deontay Wilder, who looks like he's going to be facing Usyk. There's just a lot going on. And fans are also talking about, possibly having more fresh tournament structures, potential undisputed clashes, and even hybrid cards that mix UFC boxing styles and huge spectacle energy. A sign the global fan base wants big idea boxing events, not just belts. Sounds good. Not sure if we'll ever get that. But one thing we're getting right now, a lot of trending boxing themes. You got pressure on the old guard. Heavyweights like Fury, Joshua, Usyk, Wilder, and Wardley continue to be gigantic stories in 2026, trying to mix up those guys to fight. You got the new blood rising. You got fighters coming out the USA, UK, Japan, Australia, provoking major fight lists and fan wish lists. Then there's dream matchups everywhere, man. Social feeds are full of fantasy fights, many beyond promotional red tape. That will never happen. It's like having Gervonta Davis face Inoue. I just don't see that fantasy matchup ever happening. And there's just global cards taking place everywhere, thanks to Turkey Al-Sheikh, Germany, Japan, the USA, the UK. You know, just discussions around Saudi cards hint at boxing embracing global tourism and spectacle. In the women's boxing, look, Serrano, Taylor, Baumgartner, Michaela Mayer, Holly Holm, Clarissa Shields, Franchon Cruzar, Shadesha Green, and there's a bunch of others, Caroline DeBar, Raquel Miller. I mean, we can just keep going, man. But the women have seized the momentum when it comes to boxing, and the women's fights will continue to headline big cards and probably mega cards this year. Clarissa Shields and Franchon, depending on who wins that fight, especially if Clarissa Shields wins, you better believe I could see, you know, although her attitude and her profile looking kind of crazy, she could go into a mega fight, man, because there's so many people who want to see her lose. And she could get the big fight, huge money. Or doors could close on her because attitude is everything. So in short, man, 2026 is shaping up to be one of the most varied, exciting, and cross-continental years in modern boxing history. Is it going to be the biggest year yet? Don't know. But there are some great matchups happening. And we're going to get some big moments. Y'all keep cool. Boxing dominating every news feed. And it should, goddammit. In the breeze.